Hi, I'm Sharron Martin, and thanks for joining me. I live in New Zealand and I'm a channel for Gaia. I bring through messages from her, and I first began having a relationship with her in 2015, where she presented herself to me not as a planet but as a personification of a goddess, and she asked me to paint her. So that is something that I did and completed through a series of processes, which took me on a big journey in itself. Anyway, I will talk to you more about her. You can see a glimpse of her behind me another time, but right now I want to bring through to you messages for this first half of December that she has given to me. So what happens for me is that I astral travel, or I go into a deep meditative space where I journey to the centre of the earth and meet with her in her emerald and amethyst and sapphire cave. And she shows me metaphors and speaks to me and gives me energetic updates. So we are in rapid times, and I just invite you to sit back and I will share with you some of what it is that I've received over these last couple of weeks, because it's seeming to be more and more important. So at the beginning of the month, she said, the veils are lifting, the curtain is going to be thrown right back shortly, and the illumination will be spectacular. Those who are ready to see will recognise the energy as that of paradise, of heaven on earth, and then they will begin to anchor this frequency on the earth plane more and more. She says, do not be swayed by the 3D reality. It is a complete facade. So she was more animated and energised than she had appeared in quite a while at the beginning of this month. She's been going through some blending and similar upgrades to that we have been receiving here on the surface of the earth. She said a total rejuvenation package, an energetic and vibrational increase in frequency to hold her through this next movement, this upward in frequency, dimension and location. So the planet is moving, as it has been over the last couple of years anyway. It moved further and further into the photonic belt. So she is saying, we, meaning all of the heavenly beings who are our guides and mentors and helpers, we are all very delighted with the progress made and the frequency consolidated. We are now in go mode, incremental, frequent upgrades for humanity on a daily basis to reach saturation point. Illumination and enlightenment for many light warriors is imminent. Billions of angels are surrounding the planet to hold the planetary vibrations steady as we all lift and move as a planetary body and as a collective. She says, new times, new codes, new vibrations, more singing, more laughter, more childlike play and exploration. Approaches to life are shifting as the illusions, the deceptions, falsehoods, cover-ups, constrictions and entrapments dissolve and fall away. And this is what she says to us. She says, be in the stillness of your own heart. For here resides the place where you can find peace and serenity at any time. Make this a daily practice. Make this a practice in each moment where you are reflecting. Drop into self, drop into the heart. Place your hands on your heart and breathe feel the love of self, the love of others, of this moment. Be in acceptance of this moment. Find the peace within it, the serenity, the harmony. Something else that's been happening is that we are anchoring the light of this new dimensional frequency into the crystalline earth grids. And so one of the ways that we do, well, there are many ways that we do that. So for example, if we are walking on the earth, we are helping to anchor in those new lights. A deliberate, purposeful, intentional way of doing that is to breathe them into the body and then breathe them out through your feet into the ground. And as you watch them and feel them leave your body and enter into the earth, then on the next moment or movement or breath in, then breathe them back up into your body. So, we act as a conduit between the energies that come from the heavens and the energies that need to be in the earth. So we're the in-between mechanism for that to be stabilised in the earth or even to be released from. So the other thing is that we're beginning to experience our own personal toroidal fields. So one moves in a clockwise direction and one moves in an anti-clockwise direction. If you don't know what a toroid looks like or a toroidal field looks like, it has a similar kind of outer construction to a donut. It has a hole in the middle. It's made up of radiating moving lines. They move up and around and then in, and then they also move around. So they're doing this kind of movement or this kind of movement, and they're also moving around. So my understanding of that is that our third and fourth dimensional toroidal fields move in a clockwise direction, but our fifth dimensional toroidal field moves in an anti-clockwise direction. And I witnessed that in the US a couple of years ago when I was there on a spiritual journey, and I noticed the different vortices and that they were spinning different ways. So she is saying that these have been laid over one another as a stabilizing force. And that earlier this year, I think, she showed me that the planet had that force around it, that force field of two toroidal fields, one clockwise and one anti-clockwise. And that was all about holding the earth through this dimensional shift to give it some stability. So then she gave me some information about the divine feminine and the energies related to that. I posted that on Facebook if you're on my link there. I want you to keep in mind that each of us carry, of course, both the feminine and the masculine energies, and we present in a physical body as masculine and feminine. And so what she has said is that the divine feminine is over the finish line. That is her wording. And she is saying that what that means is that the divine feminine energy on our planet is already in a fifth dimensional frequency. And so she is asking each of us to then bring into balance our divine masculine energy. So our divine masculine sits on the right side of our body. It's that forward moving, rational, practical, logical, action-based masculine aspect to each of us. And we are being asked to hold that into balance, to bring that up to a higher frequency, up to that fifth dimensional frequency, and bring it into balance through the left and the right sides of our body, through our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, and our spiritual body. Bring it into balance, left and right, above and below. And then what we are asked to do is to pull down the frequencies from the heavens. So one way of doing that is to hold your hands, palms open to the skies, to the heavens, and invite the new frequencies to enter into your physicality. So they can easily come in through the portals, the vortexes, the chakras in your hands, in the palms of your hand, the tips of your fingers. And if you try this now, you'll likely feel some tingling as it enters in. And so just do that, calling them in, calling all of these in, these crystalline upgrades, these DNA upgrades, these gifts, these talents, these new codes for our new time. And then place your hands on your heart, into your heart. Invite them to move into the place in your body or in your field where they are best served or best serving you and your highest good. And she's saying that as you do that, pull down, like deliberately pull down on them as though you're pulling on a big fat bell rope. She's saying be deliberate, be purposeful. These are the energies of this time. And then the last step of that is to imagine that you have this magnetic pulse. If you're the divine feminine, you have this magnetic pulse. It's a series of pulsating rings that get ever expanding. They radiate out. So speak to your heart, invite your heart, instruct your heart to radiate out these pulsating magnetic energies, and breathe in here behind your hands as you feel those energies radiating, expanding. You feel a lot of heat in your heart, and then as you can feel the energy of that building, then send it out to your divine masculine, send it out to his heart. Breathe and use those magnetic energies to connect to divine masculine's heart and pull him home. Gaia says it's time they were home. Pull your divine masculine home. Then another day, the energies were blue and they were taking the shape of very angular pointed lines, kind of zigzagging back and forth. And Gaia said that these energies are filling in all of the available spaces, saturating the planet at this time. So if you tuned in for some news from November, you may have heard me speak of coming across these Native American women having a powwow in circle in Gaia's cave, and they were speaking of the prophecies of their grandmothers, their grandfathers, prophecies of the ancient ones, and they were speaking into the future. They were speaking the future into being, into coming, and they were creating purification for the planet, for their people, for all of us, for the ground, for the land, for the earth, for the water, the skies. And they were bringing in purification for the earth and for all of the sentient beings, which includes all of the animals and the insects and the trees. And that was their process. So they were just very gently creating this giant mix of purification, and they called it a nutrient mix. And so that's to uplift all of us in our physical bodies and fields right throughout the planet. And it was really beautiful to witness, and it was being overseen by White Buffalo Couple, who is an ascended master. He sits on the 4th grade if you're interested in that. So now, on this day, it's so interesting. That was the Native American women being called together to sit and hold space for the earth. And then last week, there were all these beautiful African mothers being called. So when I went in, I went into the cave, and there was this huge pale green rug sitting on the floor of the cave, and this magnificent African woman sitting there. She had this orange sort of turban headscarf on, and she had this wooden bowl sitting beside her, and she was just sitting there in preparation. She was facing the pond of purification that sits in Gaia's cave, and she was preparing and holding space for the others who were coming, for the revival of Africa, for the replenishment. And the messages that I got were starving, no more, thirsty, No more. There is peace, tranquility, and joyousness coming. And I hear the noise of the savannah, the bare feet, the hooves, the drums, all beating in unison of a new time. Future prosperity and abundance for all. There's this celebration of Mother Africa is going to be revived. Honestly, I feel moved now as I'm saying this to you, and I was sobbing when I was down here on the platform as the other African mothers were arriving on the platform. And the platform is Gaia's bed of amethyst. So she was preparing with curved sticks representing the energy of the toroid or the toroidal field for the ceremony. And it was about rain and preparation physically on the land. That's what they're going to be doing. For rain, for lushness, plantations to return, for balance to come. So that's really exciting. Okay. So then it was still only, all of this has happened in the first week of December, and this next part also happened in the first week of December. This celebration, this jubilation, this festive atmosphere, spiralling vortexes of stars in the inner earth, and Gaia is saying it's a celebratory time. We're calling in the masculine counterparts to come in as this begins what she calls the topple effect, the tipping effect. We're calling in the fractals of souls and soul pieces back into the collective for those who are ready to be rehomed, rehoused in the physical vessel as we move into standing in our greater sovereignty, coming into greater wholeness, into greater expansion in our new time, in our new era, and in our new world. I know you can hear it in my voice. Honestly, I feel so privileged and blessed that I get to be in her presence and bring these messages through, because she is so full of love. So this expansion, this expansiveness, Gaia is saying, be in it, be with it, be of it. It is all magnificent. And the dragons and all of the multi-dimensional and interdimensional creatures, they are coming more into their own also. You know, they are feeling safer, the veils are thinning, there's less density and negativity for them to be dealing with. And so they're coming into their own sense of freedom, leaving behind the fears and persecutions and coming back into their beauty and their innocence. All is well, all is well, all is well. Okay, so that's what happened in the first week of December. And you know, I know that it's not here quite yet. I know that you know, she gives me this information earlier. It has to come out. It has to come out from the inner earth to the outer earth. And I'm not sure of the exact time frame of that. You know, but it's at least a couple of weeks before we start to see the energetics of it. And then of course it lands in the physical. So I don't yet have a time frame or a time delay from when I'm given this information to when we see evidence of it here on the surface. But then today, there's this amazing light show in the inner earth. So there were these triangles and these vectors of light, and they're just overlapping one another. And the information I got about it is that they're lining up the vectors and the crossover points. So this is in the timelines, both historical and future now. That was how Gaia put it, future now. The ley lines, the intersecting paradigms, illuminating aspects of our new world. That's what these triangular lights. So if you imagine a light being thrown from a light source, as you would on a stage, and it creates a triangle, that's what these lights were forming up as. And so yeah, it's ley lines, intersecting paradigms, illuminating aspects of our new world, revealing, being brought out from behind the curtains, behind the veils of illusions, aspects and perspectives, all starting to come together, to come into alignment, where truth in its absoluteness and by its very presence illuminates the lies and the falsehoods. Look and you will see. So guys, these over the month of December and into 2020, more and more of this will become obvious. The old, the out of date, shattered, crumbled, released as the new slides gently but purposefully into place. And then I was so surprised to come across this huge dragon, the biggest, most gigantic dragon I've ever seen, bright orange with gold accents and a bit of white and black. It's a Chinese dragon, and it tells me it's celebrating the emancipation of China. Whoa! I was like, wow, what is this about? And so yeah, see what else they were that I was going to be given about this, because it blew me away. You know, that we had the ceremony with the Native American women, and then with the African women, and now with the dragons from China. And so this is what I was told: the Asian patriarchy, the ancient hierarchy of China, is collapsing. I'm seeing all of these wooden buckets. So, you know, those old wooden buckets that are made up of strips of wood that are bound together with strips of metal, and they come together and tighten up the seams when they get wet, just like a barrel of rum or a barrel of wine. And they're all stacked on top of one another in this three-dimensional pyramid. It's a giant pyramid. All of these buckets are tumbling down, so that's the metaphor, right? That structure is tumbling down. And I'm reminded that the students are leading the way. You know, we, and I anyway, and I'm sure many of you, we send them much love and light and support in finding their way with having their voices heard. This demand for freedom of thought and freedom of speech and freedom of choice, that the Chinese students are bringing about some of this change on the physical plane. So this, I was told, is going to have the effect like a rippling ribbon. If you've ever seen a ribbon dancer move the ribbon so that it undulates through from the end of the stick to the tip of the ribbon, that's the effect. That is the way that this dragon, this giant Chinese dragon, is creating through the landmass of China. It's a golden energy wave, and it's this undulating movement that radiates across from east to west. And yes, I checked that was the direction. And celebrations will go on right through to the Chinese New Year and will become more and more evident, more and more apparent, more and more visible in the physical world. There are all of these beautiful Chinese acrobats and Chinese dancers in the cave, celebrating with bells and music and dance. So, these images, these metaphors that I get given, I never take the role of analysing them. I get shown them. It's a literal translation of what I see, and the messages that I give you are the messages that I'm given, that I hear, or that I channel through. And so, yeah, I lay this before you at this very exciting time. And if you are interested in finding more more messages and channeled information from Gaia, then please subscribe to my channel. It's something that I'm going to be doing more and more frequently as I get into flow with all of the work that I do, which seems to be quite broad at the moment. And I thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. I also offer one-on-one sessions in energy healing and Akashic readings. And for those of you seeking clarity of life purpose and direction, the instructions to book a session are below. Infinite blessings and much love to you.